Zach Maslany now making his way to the stage. Expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I wanted to give a shout out to my boy Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
He's a beast. He's a savage. Him and JM holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem. Who's doing it better than them? Very few.
Okay. From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
Logic killing it, son. I really dig this Logic album. Shit killed. I think he beat Lil Wayne big time. Lil Wayne just put out an album too. I think freaking Logic killed it. This is a good song too. This one's called, the first one was called Iconic. This one's called Everyone Dies. I don't know. I guess, yeah, everyone does die, so. But I really like this song too. Logic's just ripping it, man. I like the way he raps. Maybe it's just I like that fast type of rapping, you know what I mean, with samples in the background. I love samples. This song's good. Then he's got another one with the Wu-Tang Clan. That's a smart like little compilation to put together to get the Wu-Tang in on it. That's dope. So yeah, I think Logic killed it. There's some good rap coming out, man. I really like the guys that are coming out now. I think it's dope. I think there's actually dudes coming out and guys. There's a lot of guys like just getting into it. So I don't even know what the hell I was saying. What I meant was there are a lot of rappers that there are a lot of guys that are like taking it back and like, you know, they can build around being like, I'm an underground rapper, or, you know, it's like a whole nother offshoot. Like whatever the mainstream is, you can always pretty much go against it and get a dickload of followers. So, or just people that are into that. Like I'm into freestyles. I'm into, you know, I like Sci-Hi the Prince. I like a bunch of the new, you know, I like Logic, obviously. I still like Lil Wayne, although I just think, you know, he was like going more towards the side of like mumble rappers and all that crap. He had a couple of the guys on it. I had no idea. So it was alright though. It was alright. I can't shit on it too much. What was I going to say? So let's go. Zach's Corner Podcast. This is volume 9, I think. Or I don't know if I said volume or episode 9, but I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. Like people who I wouldn't even think, like, yo, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, what? You do? Holy shit. So that's really cool. I'm trying to keep it going. I know I've been so busy the last month with traveling and stuff it's just been insane. And it really doesn't stop. And, you know, it's good though. Like I want it to be this busy. You know, this is, you know, I can't say I didn't know what I wanted, but I always wanted to, you know, travel for work and go places and then, you know, come back home and run my shit back here. So, and it seems to be working out so far. Like we got a long way to go, but it has been a fun ride nonetheless so far. So, I don't even know how to recap. I don't even remember what was on the last one. My brother was in the middle of moving and stuff. So he's been super busy. My other brother moved too. I didn't move, but I got me and my fiance got a new pet. We got a new dog. So we already have little Merlot, who is a pug shih tzu, little Merliesel, as I like to call her, or Cheezel. I don't know why I made up all the names for him. But then we have our other dog now is also, they said it was a pug shih tzu, but his name is Ziggy. So boy, Merlot is a girl. So they're getting along really well. This is like day 4 or 5. I've been having to stay home a little bit more with them because he can't be in the crate. And he's not, we adopted him and where he came from, New Jersey. And I guess they take a lot of adopted dogs from Texas, or they take a lot of dogs from Texas and try to get them homes because there's a lot of kill shelters out there. Kat was telling me there's a whole bunch of dogs that just need homes. So a lot of them come to Jersey. The Jersey people want to help. So Dirty Jersey, shout out to you. Thanks for doing that for our little pups out there. This little guy is so cute. It's just cool to have a little dog. It's like it really is, like Kat said, it's really like having a baby. So this is like a little test. But they're doing good. We take them both for walks. It's just, Ziggy had a hard life. He's only 7 months old, but he had a really hard life. His first 7 months, he was really scared when he first came. And now he's really warming up to us. He sleeps with us at night, and sometimes I have to pick him up and carry him out and put the leash on him. But once he gets outside, he's okay. So, but he's only 7 months old. He's still a puppy, and he's according to the website where we adopted him. A lady brought him over. It was really cool. I forget the name of what it was called, but it was really cool. She came over, hung with him, see how he did with Merlot. Took a little bit to warm up. Like I said, he's had a rough life. He had to live 2 weeks. I guess he was with his family. I think it was a tough situation where the dogs got left somewhere for like 14 days, and then someone found them. So they were like, didn't know if they were going to make it. And now that he's here, and that really makes me sad. I hate when people do shit like that. I would love to, beat the crap out of them, or, I wish someone would do that shit to them. I don't know. That's kind of harsh, but I just could never see doing that to a dog, let alone a person. But people are the world is crazy. But anyways, we were able to give Ziggy a good home. So we got to stay with him, though. We can't really let him in the crate too much. He can only be in for like an hour or two. Plus he can't really hold it. He's got to pee all the time. So, but getting other stuff done, trying to, get the business stuff going, get a lot of stuff knocked out. Cause we had, we've been training our asses off since me and JM, everybody at the school too, but me and JM, who I'm going to get him on the Zach's Corner podcast, this one. And I'm also going to get him on we're going to resurrect the Finishers podcast and just talk about our journey and all this other stuff. Because, if you guys don't know this, or if you're just listening to this podcast and you don't follow us on social media, me and JM finally got our black belt from Eddie Bravo, the man himself, right? The Ed Gibra. And we've been training, man, and I don't mean finally in any disrespect or anything like that, but it just seems like, wow, even though me and him are really still pretty young, if you think about it. I mean, I'm 35, but he's younger than me, but he's going to be, you think about it, you're like, oh shit, like you guys were, 20 whatever when we started. And then if you think about it even farther, me and him were, let's see, I was like 12 or 13 when I started martial arts, and he was like 5 or 6. He was in my brother's class. So my brother Paul, who produces his podcast, him and JM started at Master Glacier Karate together. And JM's been training his whole life pretty much. And, me too, not as much as him. Like he's got another probably 6 or 7 years on me, but I'm older than him. So, but it evens out. It doesn't matter. But I mean, he's been training since literally the kid has been training since he's 5 or 6. I have to ask him which one it is, but 6 years old till now. I mean, he's I am too. And there's a lot of guys are, but he's really a lifelong martial artist. That's crazy. Who knows what we would have been if we wouldn't have started martial arts, and been such a long journey. I put up a kickboxing fight on my Instagram just that I did with, JM basically trained me for that kickboxing fight, holding mitts for me. He was training himself at the same time too. So I was trying to hold mitts for him, but I suck at holding mitts. So, and then that was like the last one before we finally were like deciding that we were going to open up our own school. And we had been training together for a long time. And just, he'd come when I was running a Tiger Schulman's in Quakertown. Like he used to make a trip out there once a week when we had a little fight team. He used to do a lot of grappling and stuff back in the day. He'll still tell the story how I taught him his first swim move. So if you know what swim move is, a jiu-jitsu move where you, it's like an armbar from the back, right? You got the back position. And you roll through. I thought when I saw it in Pride, and it was Sakuraba who hit it, and I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't know it was called a swim move. I just thought it was like a rolling armbar or something. And I would teach the kids that. He was probably like 12 or 13 at the time, and I might have been like 12, 13, 14, 90. I might have been like 19 or 20 while this was going down. So it's pretty cool, man. Like we've been training together so long. I've watched I was there for, I think his first ever fight might have been a kickboxing. I'll have to ask him to be sure on this one. But that's why we're going to get him on the podcast. But, a lot of people doubted me, I think, when, in my personal life, when I was doing this and quitting my job and not going into, just not going into the profession that I got my college degree in, which most people would think is stupid. But not many people wanted to believe in our little thing. They didn't see how we can make money, especially, they used to say, well, if you, and I would tell people I'm going to do this with JM, and people, not that they ever, I don't know what they thought, but they thought that, they're like, they would just say to me like, well, there's two of you. How are you going to make any money? Like now you got to split the profit and everything. And it was like, people just didn't want me to do it. And they would come up with any excuse. They definitely didn't want me to do it with JM. They just didn't want me to do it at all. Nothing against him, just, my family, some of my family and also some of my friends used to criticize all the time. But like I said, when Eddie gave us our black belts in California, and I'll tell that story in a second. But when he gave us our black belts, I made a speech and I don't even remember what I said. Ross recorded it. I probably said some stupid stuff. I cried a little bit. But, I said, Jam was the one guy who, and there were other guys too, like I know George and Mike Ortiz and stuff. But when me and Jam were like, hanging out, in the back of our old school, not our old school, but our old sensei school, like hanging out thinking like, yo, man, we're going to, we're going to make moves. We're going to do whatever we got to do. Like we believed in each other. Like I always knew that Jam would never quit. And I never had any, distrust in him or, was upset at him for anything, like we grew up pretty much doing this almost, pretty much side by side together. It's pretty cool, man. And I know there were other guys like my buddy John Robinson, Jim Garzillo. There are a lot of other guys who believed in me too. My buddy Bill Roosh, obviously, Sean Green, my cousin Matt, big influencer on me. I got to get him on the podcast. My brother Mike, my brother Paul. Those guys always believed in me because they saw how hard I worked, not that my mom or dad didn't believe in me or JM or whatever, but they just, they thought we were two idiots and they probably thought like, you guys don't know how to run a business or whatever. And then nothing against us. They were just worried about us, so take that, we didn't take it to heart, when it was going down. I know JM's parents were, not the happiest either that he was doing that, all that stuff. So, but, just take that in mind. So when someone like, for instance, your parents, who start giving you shit for a decision you're making. Like I just saw another story from one of our friends in Costa Mesa, Matt Salinas, quit a job. I think he said he was in the union or something. He got like this cushy union job and then just quit it to follow martial arts and travel and stuff. And his dad was like, I think he said his dad's lip was trembling or something like that when he told him, that he quit the job. And Matt's doing great now and he's a beast and he's living life and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just another example. So I'm sure his parents gave him big time shit and just were upset. And, you never want to disappoint your parents or upset them. But, sometimes you have to make a move for yourself, especially if it's just something that you really, really believe in or something that you want to do. Just take it in mind that don't hold this grudge against your parents or your aunts or uncles or your grandmother or your other friends who, don't believe in you at first or whatever. They're probably not believing in you, maybe because they're just worried about you and they want what's best for you, And it's not that they don't believe in you, but like exactly what I just said, they're just worried. They're just like, oh man, like I really want, whoever goes out and does their own business. Like I really want him to succeed, but I know the safe route is this way. And even more than that, they don't want to see you disappointed and back down in the dumps, or whatever. But so yeah, that's just my little take on that. But yeah, shout out to JM. I know he listens to this, I'm sure, but just I couldn't have done it without him, and it's really cool to get our black belts at the same time. That's really fucking dope to me, man. And plus, dude, Eddie Bravo, like sometimes, like you don't always agree or disagree with, or you don't always agree with, the people above you and the decisions they make and stuff like that. And like Eddie's never done anything but try to help us, and but, you, like I said, maybe you don't, and maybe not even, I can't even think of a situation, but I can think of some from other guys in 10th Planet, maybe things I just didn't like or you don't like it or whatever, but maybe at the time you just don't even understand the bigger picture or whatever. So like, Eddie seems like he always had a plan for us. And I think he has a plan for everybody. If you're out there putting in work and grinding hard like we've been doing, he just probably was waiting for that time to get us the biggest blow up that he could. He really, me and Jam have gotten to hang out with him, and he really cares about the team and all the guys on the team. And if you're riding for 10th Planet, Eddie Bravo's riding for you. Like, he said so much good stuff about us, man. And I know we couldn't have done it without him either. Like we probably would have done, something ourselves, but, we definitely wouldn't have gotten this far. 10th Planet has done a lot for us. So I'm thankful for everybody in the 10th Planet organization. All the OG gangsters that have been there along the way for us. I mean, there's a lot of guys who I just, that have been around forever too, that I just maybe didn't connect with, or I haven't been able to hang out with you as much and get to know you. But it's not that I don't like you or anything like that, or like I'm not going to like your Facebook statuses or whatever it is. I just don't know you, you know what I mean? But I do respect everything you guys have done for 10th Planet on the positive tip, and like I know the guys, like the guys who have helped us personally, like Lewis Ho, Chris Herzog, shout out to Zog and Street Ho, Casey Halstead. Let's see who else. There's a ton of guys like, and then the OG guys just putting on, for the team back in the day when no one else believed in the style, like, Jeremy Fields, Einstein, Epstein, and even Denny and all the guys like, and then now the dudes putting on now, like Marvin and Jeremiah and PJ, Geo, obviously, and Boogie and all those guys, they're taking hard matchups, man. We're just, if you guys know who aren't with 10th Planet, if you know anything about 10th Planet, like, we're all spread out. We don't get the luxury of being able to train all together like the Danaher Death Squad, or being able to train, whatever. And you could say we're just making an excuse, and that's fine. But, we're right in there, and we're beating them too. Not just Danaher guys. I love those dudes. Congrats to Frank Rosenthal's not getting his black belt too. And all those guys over there, they competed in the tournament, and they always come for the win, and they're tough as shit. But look at a lot of them now. I know some of the guys are training at a different school or some other shit. I don't know really what's going on, but I know that those guys have been able to train together for a while. And at Henzo's HQ there, man, they got all of them training together. Imagine if Nate Orchard and Phil and me and JM and Thor and friggin' the whole San Diego Oceanside crew and the whole Costa Mesa, Las Vegas, all the Andrew Alexander and, like I said, Jeremiah and Jarrell, and, you get all those guys, and then you get the dudes like Frank Barca and all the Australia guys, and then you start bringing up, imagine if we were all together. I mean, obviously everybody's got to be in their own area to make money, but imagine if we were all trained together, the training sessions would be insane. I remember, like, even, I remember going to HQ at the time when the Oceanside guys were there, and then dudes from Portland were there too, and it was wild, dude. I was getting rolls with all the guys, and I was, like, holy shit, like, imagine if I did that all the time. Kind of reminds me of, like, when, I go on Monday, sometimes me and Jam will go train at the Pure MMA with the Main brothers, Andy Main. I think he's fighting tomorrow. This will probably come out next week, but he's fighting in Bellator, so good luck to him and his brother Mike Main. I look up to those guys a lot. They're like, running all types of businesses, opening up acai shops and all types of stuff. And, we've had the finishers tournament there. I'm going to ask them to go back for the next one. So my dogs are fighting right now. It's pretty funny. Yeah, those guys and Brian McLaughlin and all those dudes come, and there's just like mad black belts, and Joe and Kevon and the whole crew. And they're deep over there. There's so many dudes together and so many black belts. And like, you get 8-minute rounds, and you're just like rolling with Joe, and then you roll with Brian, and then you roll with, Julian, and then you roll with all these dudes, and you're like, roll with Mike, and then he passes your guard, and then Andy neck cranks you and all this shit, and you're like, oh, damn, it's freaking awesome. So shout out to those guys. They always had our back. They always, we always were able to train with them. Shout out Mike Padilla BJJ. Like, he was always like, helped us back in the day before we started. I think when I first rolled with him, I was a white, no belt. Even though I had MMA experience and shit, I sucked at actual jiu-jitsu. And then Mike, would just kick my ass and show me shit. I'm, really not, I guess I am proud of him for, he getting his own school started and doing his own thing. So, that's really dope. Like, he always was like, when is Eddie Bravo going to give these motherfuckers their black belts and shit? So, I'm just trying to, I know there's so many guys I'm leaving out right now, but, and just our crew, Finishers MMA Squad, 10th Planet Bethlehem, like, you guys that have been around since the gate, like Greg and Matt, George and Mike and freaking, Mike Henninger and all the guys that have just been around forever. Like, hold on one second. Ziggy, yo, hey, stop it. He's trying to bite Merlot's harness thing. We got him 2 new harnesses, so Cat got him 2 new harnesses, so that way it's easier to take him out, and he's biting the friggin' harness. Hey, stop biting that harness. He's still doing it, but now she's running away, so it's okay. But all the OG gangsters, finishers, OG Def Bomb Squad. Like, if you trained at the Bomb Squad, damn, that's crazy. And I just love seeing it. Like, I can't wait. Like, we got a seminar. Eddie's in town tomorrow. So that's really cool. Eddie Bravo's going to be teaching a seminar at our school. And there's going to be probably 100 people coming through. It's going to be nuts. We got some promotions to give out, some big ones. So that's pretty cool. And I'm just proud of these guys. I'm really proud of these guys. I'm proud to see Chris Hendricks, and Diego and the Woodbridge crew doing their thing. And now we got the guys from Long Island too, James and Steve. Like, those guys are beasts, man. Like, and they're doing it too. They're out there on their own. Like, imagine if we were all together and then Pat and Travis and all those guys. Now Ray's going to be opening up in 10th Planet in New York City. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce where it's going to be at, but I'm pretty sure it's in Manhattan, I think. So yeah, I'm pumped for Ray and Cece to be in the area. That's only an hour and a half away. So, and right now we're looking at opening up another 10th Planet, another Finishers MMA, more Finishers MMA anyways, like, John Blank, obviously, new combat jiu-jitsu EBI champion. John Blank just rolled through everybody. I'll talk about that. I'm going to have a whole nother podcast on that because that's just going to take way too long. I don't even know. I might have to definitely do that on another one. But John, if you guys, again, if you've been living under a rock, you don't know that John Thor Blank is here to stay. This is the Thor era has begun because he's only 23 years old, right? So that's why I said the Thor era begins. He's not going away. Sure, is he going to lose some matches? Probably. Has he lost before? Sure, but is he going to continually get better? Yeah. You guys are screwed. So I can't wait to see him get big matches too. He's going to get some huge matches. People are like, Thor versus Craig Jones and shit. I'm like, all right, let's go, relax. But we'll get him up there. You know what I mean? We'll get him some good matches. I don't know what we're going to do next. He's fielding options for sponsors and stuff. And, it's just another one of those things. Like Eddie said, like, credit to Zach and JM and the whole Bethlehem squad. It's not just me and JM. It's our whole squad, right? You guys help. Our squad helps get John ready for these things. If he wouldn't have everybody to roll with, he wouldn't be as good, obviously. He can't roll with himself. Although that brings me to a funny thing. I'll bring it up later because I'm jumping all around. But like I said, the Woodbridge crew, and we're looking at, I know I was talking about opening up more schools. We're definitely looking at with John winning 20 G's. 20 G's, baby! He's thinking definitely going to open up another school. Also, Gabriel Chahada, right? He's a brown belt under Daniel, but Gabe's been training with us for a long time. Like, he's an excellent instructor. I never have to worry about the school when we're away, when Gabe's running it. He treats it like his own. He's been training with us since OG Hammer Bomb Squad, OG Def Fam Trap House. And he's the man. He's like my brother, man. He's a fucking beautiful dude, and he's killing it too. Like, on a competition scene, he's about to take on Frank Rosenthal's. He's, he wants that real big. I know he wants that real big win. He wants to, like, get that one, because he's beat some dudes, and he's had some tough goddamn matches. He seems to be walking in my footsteps a little bit per se, when you would just have to face the best guy out the gate every time. And, I've been there, bro. So, but I know he ain't stopping. Gabe is giving me fits when we roll and stuff. And he's teaching, like I said, he's teaching off the charts. He's killing it. He knows all the warm-ups. He knows a ton of other shit. He teaches kids class. He's the only other dude at the school right now besides JM that, teaches kids class. And that's tough, man. It's tough. And he's getting them kids good too, just like us. They're killing it. So I put him right up there with us. He's looking to open up his own school. We got a ton of options. We might Rick Ross it, Miami. I don't know. That's just throwing crazy shit out there. But who knows? Also, Philadelphia would be great. So, we're trying to bring dudes up. I'm pumped for that. But yeah, so what else? There was a guy, we always get funny phone calls. I don't know if this was the last, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last podcast, but we got a lot of weirdos calling us up. We got some just crazy ass people calling us, and people like groupies almost, like someone calling up, looking to train with Jules, another person stopping in for Thor or something like that. Like, it's never when I'm around or anything, it's weird. Like, people are so weird. Like, we have such a good school, and I think that was like leaning towards my like business type tip for the week is like those of you guys who are out there running schools, it's the culture at your school is so huge. If the culture at your school blows, no one's going to want to train there. You'll just have a couple of weirdos and that's it. If you let the wrong type of people in your school. Now, I don't know if there's rules on this or not, so I'm going to have to look this up, but I want to put up, and I know the signs are out there, but I'd love to put up a sign that says, and this might be negative, start people out on a negative foot, but we have the right to refuse, anybody that we want, or however that sign goes. We have the right to refuse, your business. Some people, I don't want their business. I don't care how much money they're willing to pay. I don't want to teach them. And it has nothing to do with, race or ethnicity or, gender or what people look like or what type of shape they're in or how old they are, or it has nothing to do with that. It simply has to do with respect. And it has nothing to do with me or JM being black belts. It just has something to do with this is our home that we built, and grant us that it's taken a long time to get here. It's been a lot of hard hours that a lot of people don't see, just like any other business. So what we do is we just want you to respect the place. That's number one. Respect us, as the business owners. Respect all the other instructors and the students. And there's a lot of things that could go down that I deem disrespectful. And it's not a big deal. Some people, they don't know. So you have to like teach them. But like, at the school, if you, show up dirty, or, if you have stinky rash guards, or you've been training there for 3 years and you still wear the same shit, or you constantly show up late to class and don't do any of the drills. Now, some guys, obviously showing up late, you guys got some people just work and they go home and they eat and they come to class. Listen, it's fine. Right. But if you're training for something, you're not putting in a work, we're going to see it. So, not training hard. And that doesn't mean going hard. That means just, being consistent with your training and trying to apply yourself. Like, we really love people who really want to learn. It makes our job so much fun. When people show up and they kind of take it like, whatever, it's not a big deal, then you know what? We don't really want to teach them, and like we've had that before. We've had people come in that have just been super weird, that just, I don't want them rolling with other people. We have women, we have kids, we have, dudes just trying to learn. I don't want anyone hurt. People get hurt all the time, but that's just part of the game. People get hurt playing freaking sitting up or taking a shit. You know what I mean? People get hurt all the time. Oh, you're going to get hurt. Yeah, you might get hurt, right? A little bit, but you're not going to get super injured unless you're doing it like a pro like us, right? You could get banged up a little bit, but we're teaching you how to fight, right? We are teaching you how to fight. And that's, something that, the kids, they're not, the kids that come, sometimes kids are nervous at first. We help them do it. Our kids are killing it. But what else annoys us? Parents who come in and try to tell us like it is, or how they're going to pay, or people just try to haggle about the price. That annoys us. There's a bunch of random things. Some people, most of all of our current students now, I would say pretty much all of them, have just come in, tried the trial class, wanted to sign up. They signed up. Okay. That's pretty much what I do when I go to someone else's business, but some other people have it, some other people, think about it a little weird. So what I'm saying is, if any of that makes sense, it's the culture at your school that makes a really huge difference on the growth of your school. If you got a bunch of weirdos in there, you got like people who are hurting people, or you got people in there with egos, or you got people in there that, like they might be like a creep or something like that. Like, I had to throw a dude out. He said something to me one time. He's like, now this guy already had a bunch of previous issues, but he said something to me one time like, well, I want to, it's so cool if I just come in and train with the kids and stuff. I was like, you're kicked out immediately, right? I just don't, we work way too hard. I don't need that shit. Same thing if, I've had to throw out a couple of women who, dated a dude or whatever, and then they started acting crazy and started bringing their problems to me. I had to throw them out. A couple of guys came in, had egos, right off the bat, and ended up getting other types of problems. I had to throw them out. There have been lately, I've been way more strict with the two, because we have such a good crew and we have such cool people, and our parents are so awesome. All the little guys. There's no one there that I don't like. So I'm going to keep it that way, right? Not that Zach's only going to sign up people he likes. Well, we're only going to sign up people who are willing to come in and respect one another and follow the guidelines of the academy. I'm not there all the time. We do have cameras up, but I'm not there all the time. I need to believe that when other people are coming in to train to get better, they're going to respect the place. There's a couple guys, like we got a lot of people who have keys, and we knock on wood, we've had like almost no problems, but it's the type of people like Jamie. I would never expect Jamie to do anything, stupid. You know what I mean? He's the man. He's a very smart dude. No problem letting him come in, with the key. Dev, and Phil, who come in on Sundays. I've known those guys a long time. They will never do anything dumb or disrespect the place or not clean up. You know what I mean? Same thing with Gabe. Like, I never have to worry about it. So if you got the right people, then, that's huge. Like, I've read that so many places, like the culture at your business. If you're running some other type of business, if you have jerk-offs that work there or weirdos, it's not gonna grow, right? It's not gonna grow. You want the right type of people. And again, it has nothing to do with how much money you got or what type of car you drive. It just has to deal with, like I said, it has to deal with respect and believing in us and stuff like that. That goes a long way, because then I really want to help. Now, I'm going to help you either way if you sign up at the school, but I not really want to help you. I see you're eager to learn. And then we have so many guys that help others. Imagine if we had a guy being a jerk, in there and hurting somebody or something. It'd be crazy. So clean up the culture at your gym, people. If you got dickheads in there, throw them out. Just throw them out, right? There's a contract, cancel that shit. I don't care. We'll just tell people straight up, peace. You know what I mean? We're working way too hard. We got too many good people. And, that goes back to some of the previous podcasts I said, where you don't need just everybody. You need the right people. So, and it might have been something one of my brothers said one time back in the day. And he was like, it's kind of like a niche thing that you guys are doing, but I like it. So 50% of the people are going to be into it and 50% of the people aren't. But listen, we'll take that 50%. We'll take those guys and ride or die with that fam. So, what else? That was like my little business tip. Same thing, with the kids class, right? If you got a parent in there that's acting crazy, you might have to like check that parent or take them outside, or just do it when no one else is there and let them know, like, hey, just, we do it this type of way. Like, you got that parent that's coaching from the side. That's like, I never did a lick of jiu-jitsu, but I'm smart enough. I see what's going on. Yo, Johnny, get out of the arm bar. Get out of the arm bar. Oh, Johnny, you got armbarred. Like, yo, let him go, you friggin', you know what I mean? That's it's like me showing up yelling at a friggin' baseball game or something like that. I have no idea. Like, I know what the game, but I'm not turning into a coach. We're like a strength container. Like, come on, people. And it happens. Like, and I get it. The parents are into the kids, but you got to take them aside and nip that in the bud right away. Or you'll have parent beefs. You know what I mean? Have one parent going at it with another parent in your lobby. And I've seen it happen a bunch of times. It's gonna happen. It's there's gonna be problems. But the fact is, you have to nip them in the bud. You got to get up in front of it and whack them down before it gets crazy. And it's tough sometimes. Like, when you don't really know how to control people, you got to try to figure it out. And the best way that I found is just honesty. Just be honest with people. Let them know up front. Don't procrastinate on it, because it's gonna lead into a problem. It's gonna like grow. That virus is gonna grow and take over your place, and next you're out of business and you're working at a freaking cheese sandwich factory or something like that. So, what else can I talk about? Today I am actually officiating my 4th wedding. So congrats to Andrew Scott, and his soon-to-be wife, Chelsea. Pretty pumped about that. I got the whole speech and everything lined up. So I'm the reverend on this one. I'm going to go out there and kill it. Like I said, what else? Oh, the Zach's Corner podcast I'm going to be sponsoring John Battle. And, people are like, someone's like, yo, we need a nickname. I think it was a while ago. Someone's like, we need a nickname for John Battle. I'm like, John Battle doesn't need a nickname. The name itself is the nickname. You feel me? John Battle. Come on. That sounds like a fight sport athlete. A guy who would be in like a jiu-jitsu tournament or, an MMA fight or something like that. So, he sounds like he could be like a wide receiver maybe or something in the NFL. There's a lot of guys' names when you hear it and you're like, damn, that guy is going to do something in the sport. So John's one of my boys. Finishers Podcast is sponsoring him. Or not the Finishers Podcast. I'm sorry. The Zach's Corner Podcast is sponsoring him. And we're going to resurrect the Finishers podcast too. We've just been busy. It's partially my fault. Ross has been telling me he's around. I just haven't been able to get over there. So me and JM and Ross will unite again, and we will do a pretty good, description of us getting our black belt, Thor winning EBI. I'll probably do another Zach's Corner on Thor's EBI performance, and we'll get some guests on there. I know we have to have Nick on. Like I said, I'm slowly but surely working on combat jiu-jitsu here in Pennsylvania, so I'm working on that. I want to get my little thing going on, the East Coast Combat League. Like I said, I want to debut that. Like, the only people who know about that is really people on this podcast who listen to this podcast. So East Coast Combat League, hopefully coming soon. I just got a ton of stuff I'm working on, man. I love life right now. Yeah, I'm just pumped. And like I said, last podcast, it was enjoy it while it lasts. And that doesn't mean that things can't last long if you work hard, right? And I wanted to make sure I touched on that today. So maybe I'll leave you guys with that. But enjoy it while it lasts. Definitely enjoy what's going on around you and be present in the day and just be like, wow, it's really cool. I'm never going to have this again or whatever. And if you're working hard, just enjoy the times that you have. Like I talk about me and JM, and people are always like, man, you guys are fucking beasts. You guys lived in the school. You guys did all this shit. And yeah, we did live in the school, but when I look back at it, it wasn't that hard. It really wasn't. I actually miss it. Not that I love my life the best right now that it's ever been, but I do kind of miss that in some aspects where it's like, I remember when we used to just hang out in the back and play video games and shit, and all we had to do was jiu-jitsu, and we didn't have, a whole bunch of problems and stuff. And, I wouldn't go back if I could. I kind of like where I'm at right now. Like I like my life, but like I said, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh man, like I should have really looked around and really enjoyed that at the time, and really and I did enjoy it, but I'm just saying, like, it was hard at the time, but when you look back, it really wasn't that hard. So don't put too much pressure on yourself, guys. You're just out here trying to do it. So I love you guys. Thank you, everybody. If I missed saying your name, on this podcast, I'm sorry about that. But, I just thank everybody at Finishers MMA, 10 Planet Bethlehem, the whole 10 Planet organization, Eddie Brav, JM, my fiance, my 2 dogs, my mom, my dad, everybody. Peace. If you're looking for an organic vape CBD, you can go to vapebright.org, and you can use a promo code Finishers. You get 10% off.
I love Vape Bright. Now, for only $6 a month, you can get inside access at finishersmma.tv. Just like if you were training at 10th Planet Bethlehem yourself, there will be approximately 1 class each week filmed and uploaded to the site, along with extra technique videos being uploaded all the time and any seminars that Bethlehem hosts. For $6 a month, you can get access, or if you're looking for bigger deals, there's 2 discount packages. You can pay $30 for 6 months, which gets you 1 month for free, or $50 for a whole year, which amounts to 3 full months free. So go to finishersmma.tv now and get access today. Beautycounter.com/Catherine Beck, or you can check out my own personal website, blog. I've got some Beauty Counter essential oils, recipes up on there, lifewithcat.net, CAT for cat.